Hello everyone, so welcome to my playlist on multiple integration. Today we will see how double integration problems can be solved using polar coordinates. Okay, so many times whenever you have a double integration in where the integrand is expressed, or you can say that expression is in Cartesian form. Cartesian means involving x and y. But many times it becomes difficult to solve a problem which is in Cartesian form. So what do? We go into the world of polar, and then we see that the problems becomes much more simpler. Okay, so that's why polar coordinates are pretty much important in double integration. Okay, now how to do this transition? What you do is, whenever you have x into the expression, you replace your x by r cos theta, you replace your y by r sin theta. Where what is your r? If this is my xy plane and this is my point P is nothing but x comma y. What is r? It is nothing but the distance from origin. This distance we call it as r. And you can observe, if I square and add them, what is x square plus y square? It is nothing but r square cos square plus r square sin square. If I take out r square common, this is what I have. And your r is nothing but square root of x square plus y square. Okay, so r is nothing but the distance from origin. And what is my theta? It is nothing but the angle made with respect to x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so that is my r and theta. So usually we say in Cartesian we have xy pair, and in polar we have r theta pair. Okay, so this is what we have. So whenever you have an expression involving x and y, you replace x by r cos theta, y by r sin theta, and you replace your dA. What is your dA? It can be dx dy or dy dx. So you replace it by dr d theta, but not only these two terms, one extra r will come into the picture. So you replace your dy dx or dx dy by r dr d theta. Don't forget this r. Okay, this r is called as the magnification factor. Magnification factor, or sometimes it is also called as a Jacobian factor, because Jacobi was the one who invented this. And if I want to tell you the proof of this, you need to wait for a while, because when I will talk about substitution in multiple integration, that time I will give you a very general formula, and from there we will prove this as well. But as if now, just keep this in mind, you replace your dy dx or dx dy by these three terms. So in general, if you have a function if you have this double integration dA, you replace it by your x nothing but r cos theta comma r sin theta. So you will have expression in terms of r and theta, and your dA by r dr d theta. Okay, so this is what the transition is. And if I want to give a kind of motivation why this magnification factor comes into picture, like for example, suppose earth is my one world and moon is another world. Okay, and I want to see what is my weight on the moon. It's very difficult for me to see my weight on moon. It's very difficult to solve problems in Cartesian. That's why we go into polar. So now if I want to see my weight on moon, it's difficult for me to go to the moon and see my weight. So what I will do, I will see my weight on earth, and I will multiply it by some factor, right? Do you know what is that factor? If I want to see what is my weight on moon, I measure my weight on earth and I multiply by a factor. If you don't know, then Google it out and comment your answer in the comment section. Tell me the factor with which will multiply your weight on earth so that you get your weight on moon. Okay, so that's what an example I usually give, just to motivate why this r comes into picture. Okay, so this is the transition. Okay, now let's see some 4 to 5 examples, all of different kinds, so that you will be comfortable with the polar coordinates. I mean double integration using polar coordinates. So let's start with the simple one. Okay, now suppose this is the example you need to solve. Now see, whenever you have x square or y square or x square plus y square or x square or y square within the square root, whenever you see such an expression, always prefer polar coordinates. Trust me, it will definitely help you. 99.9999% it will help you. Okay, so I can see the square, I can see square inside the square root. So yes, high chances that I should use polar coordinates. Okay, now for that I need to find the limits of r and theta. Now question is, how do you find the limits of r and theta? Now to find the limits of r and theta, first you need to know what is the region. Now this is nothing but y is starting from 0. So y is starting from x-axis, because here your y is 0 on x-axis. And what is your y? It is going till square root of 1 minus x square. So if I square on both sides, y square equal to 1 minus x square. So x square plus y square equal to 1. What is this? This is nothing but a circle. And so this is my this is my 1, this is minus 1, and this is the circle I have. Only upper part, because my y is starting from 0 and going till square root part. So only the upper half, circle in the upper half plane. So this is what my region is. Now I will solve this using polar coordinates. So here I will have the limits of theta, here I will have the limits of r. What is x square plus y square? It is nothing but r square, because this is r cos theta, this is r sin theta. So you have r square over here. What is your dy dx? You replace your dy dx by r dr d theta, right? Okay, good. Now what is my r and theta? Now to find the limits of r, it is nothing but the distance from origin. So you always draw these lines. You draw the lines. These are called as the radial lines. Okay, so always draw the radial lines and see from where it is starting and from where it is ending. So here it is starting from origin. I mean, it will always start from origin. Is origin in the domain? Yes. What is the distance of origin from origin? 0. And the radial lines are leaving from these points. What are these points? These points are nothing but the points on the circle. And what does this represents? R square equal to 1. Means your R is what? 1. So my R is going from 0 to 1. What is my theta? It is the angle made with respect to x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction. So my theta is going from 0 to pi. So my theta is going from 0 to pi. And now this is easy, right? This is r cube. What is integration of r cube? R raised to 4 upon 4, 0 to 1 into d theta. This is nothing but 1 by 4 and theta integration 0 to pi. So answer is pi by 4. So that's what the answer is. And whereas if you try to solve this by Cartesian itself, it will become quite complicated. Okay, you can see it over here. If I solve this simply x, what is this? X square into y means x square into 1 minus x square plus y cube by 3. 1 by 3, 1 minus x square y cube, right? This dx. So this is what you get after integrating with respect to y. And then you can say this is quite complicated, right? Here you need to do plus minus 1 adjustment, and yeah. So things becomes quite complicated if you go by Cartesian. So we go into the world of polar and we see answer comes in 3 lines. So that's the power of polar coordinates. Okay, now let's take some more examples on how to find the limits. Okay, so integration is okay, that you can easily solve, but question is one should be comfortable in finding the limits using polar. Okay, so suppose if I give you an example where I have part of a circle only, but suppose let me take this part of the circle. Okay, now this is, let me take a circle of radius 2, minus 2, and suppose this is the region you have. This is the region. You want to find what is the limits of r and theta, right? So here again you do the same thing. You draw the radial lines. You see from where it is starting and from where it is leaving. So your r is starting from 0 and it is coming out from these points. What is this? This is nothing but x square plus y square equal to 4. That is nothing but r square equal to 4. That means r is 2. So all these points are at the distance of 2 units from origin. So r is starting from 0 to 2. Now what about theta? As you can see, your theta is starting from here, pi by 2. So theta is going from pi by 2 to 2 pi. So that will be the thing. And whatever the integration is, once you know the limits, you can solve the integration. That's not a problem. Suppose if I give you, let's modify this. If I give you, suppose this part of the semicircle. Okay, so the semicircle on the right half plane. This is nothing but x square plus y square equal to 1. Now what will be the limits of r? Again you draw the radial lines. You draw these radial lines and you see from where it is starting and from where it is leaving. It is starting from origin, so your 0 will come into picture. And it's leaving from these points, and all these points are at the distance of 1 units from the origin. So r is going from 0 to 1. What about theta? Is in anti-clockwise direction. So if you start with 0, 0 to pi by 2 it goes, but then again this part is not in the domain. So what you do is you go like this only. So your theta, this is what, minus pi by 2, right? So this is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So theta is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And now once you have the limits, you can solve the problem. Okay, let's go for the fourth example. Suppose if you have one arc over here, or part of a circle, and this is another part of the circle. Okay, suppose this is from -1 to 1, this is from -2 to 2, and this is the region you have. You want to find the limits of r and theta. So for r, what you do, you draw the radial lines. If you draw the radial lines, you see from where it is starting and from where it is leaving the domain. So it is starting from here, from this, your radial lines is entering the domain, and all these points, they are nothing but equation of a circle. What is this? X square plus y square equal to 1, and what is this? X square plus y square equal to 4. So your r is starting from this circle, so your r is starting from 1. So your r need not always start from 0. Okay, so here it is starting from 1 and it is coming out from these points, and all these points are at the distance of 2 units from the origin. So limits of r is 1 to 2, and then again theta is same. It is starting from 0 and it is going till pi. So 0 less equal theta less equal pi. Never write degrees. Okay, we are playing with numbers, so pi will come. Don't write 90 degree. So yeah, you have the limits. Now you can solve the integration. Okay, but every time, so may not have these smooth curves. What if you have lines, or you can say triangles, such kind of things. So whenever you have straight lines into the domain, trigonometry will come into the picture. Okay, now how trigonometry will come into the picture? Let me take an example. Suppose this is my y and x. Okay, now suppose this is my 1 unit, and let me take this as √3, and let me take this as a triangle. Now suppose this is your region, and I want to find the limits of r and theta, or you have some integrand, you want to solve, suppose double integration r dr d theta. Suppose this is the question, you need to solve this integration. Now the question is, what are the limits of r and theta? Okay, so for theta, it is starting from x-axis, so my theta is starting from 0, and it is going till what? It is going till this line. It is going till this line. So what is this line? That is the question. This is 1 comma √3. Well, if you know, I know the line, but I won't tell you that. Let's see how to tackle if you don't know the equation of the line. Now this is what my theta, right? So this opposite side I know, which is √3, adjacent side I know, which is 1. So what trigonometry I will use? Tan theta. So what is tan theta? It is √3 upon 1. So this implies your theta has to be 60 degrees. 60 degree means how much? Pi by 3. So this angle is pi by 3. So theta is starting from 0, and your theta is going till pi by 3. So those are the limits for theta. Now what are the limits for r? Now for r, you draw the radial lines. You draw this radial lines, and you see from where it is starting. It is starting from origin, and origin is in the domain. So your r is starting from 0, and now it is coming out from this lines, this vertical line. Now here question is, as you can see, if this is one line, this is my r. Question is, what is r? This is another line. Question is, what is r? So you can see, as you draw different lines, it changes as your theta increases. So one can see that your r is depending on theta. So now suppose if I take any arbitrary r, so let's take an arbitrary r, and let's try to find the expression for r in terms of theta. Okay, this is 1 √3. Let's take any arbitrary r, arbitrary radial line. This is my r. Question is, I don't know what is this theta. Now what is tan theta? I know the adjacent side. See, I can't take the opposite side. Why? Because if I take different radial lines, opposite sides will keep on changing, whereas my adjacent side will always remain fixed. So you take the adjacent side. This is 90 degree. This is hypotenuse. So what is cos theta? It is 1 upon r. Adjacent upon hypotenuse. So what is r? 1 upon cos theta, which is sec theta. So as your r will keep on changing, your theta will keep on increasing. So your r is starting from 0, and your r, this hypotenuse, is nothing but sec theta. So that's what the limit is, and once you have the limits, it's easy to solve. This is 1 by 2 sec square theta d theta. You know what is the integration of sec square theta? It's tan theta, right? So because derivative of tan is sec square, so you have tan theta, and you can solve this. So whenever you see straight lines, trigonometry will come into the picture. Now let me reverse the triangle. Let me take the other side of the triangle, and see what all will be the changes. Okay, so that's our sixth example. Let me take other side of the triangle. Let me take this as my triangle. 0, root 3, and this is 1. Same thing, this is 1 comma root 3. Previously we took this side of the triangle. Now let's take this side of the triangle. What changes you will have? That's the question. Now again, your theta will be this much part, right? It is starting from here and going till here. So theta, I know it is going till what? Pi by 2, because y-axis is nothing but pi by 2. It is starting from here. And we just now saw how much is this angle. We saw that this is 60 degree, right? Because tan theta was opposite upon adjacent. So this was 60 degree. So this is nothing but your pi by 3. So theta is pi by 3 to pi by 2. That's one thing. Okay. Or another way, if you want to find if this much is theta, how much is this angle? Pi by 2 minus theta. Another way of finding pi by 3. Either you can draw the dotted line and from here you can find the theta, which we did in the previous example. Or if this is theta, this is pi by 2 minus theta. I know opposite side is how much? 1. How much is this? Root 3. So what is tan of pi by 2 minus theta? Is nothing but opposite, which is nothing but 1 upon adjacent, which is root 3. What is tan pi by 2 minus theta? Cot theta, right? So your cot theta is 1 by root 3. This implies what? Your tan theta is root 3. That means theta is what? 60 degree, and that's what we have written over here. So theta is starting, so here your angle is from 60 degree to 90 degree. 60 degree to 90 degree. Okay, good. So we are okay with theta. Now let's go for r. Again for for r, you draw these radial lines. Let me call this as r. Now we starting from 0, so an origin is in the domain, so r is starting from 0, and from where it is leaving from this line. Now again, so if this is my pi by 2 minus theta, again if I draw different radial lines, my opposite sides are changing, whereas my adjacent side is fixed. So what I will do is, this is if this is r, this is pi by 2 minus theta, this is 90 degree. I know adjacent, I know hypotenuse. So what is my cos theta? Cos theta is nothing but cos of pi by 2 minus theta. So what is cos of pi by 2 minus theta? Here pi by 2 minus theta is adjacent, which is root 3 upon hypotenuse, which is r. What is cos pi by 2 minus theta? It is sin theta. So what is r? Root 3 upon sin theta, which is nothing but root 3 cosec theta. So therefore, if suppose the same question is there, my r is starting from 0 and it is going till root 3 cosec theta, and my theta is going from pi by 3 to pi by 2. And whatever integrate, suppose you have r dr d theta. And now you can solve this question, right? So whenever you have triangles or whenever you see a straight line into the picture, trigonometry will always come into the limits. Okay, so I hope the concept is clear. Now let me give you some homework problems. So here are the two homework problems, one involving lines and one involving smooth curves. So tell me the limits for both the diagrams. Okay, and if you have any other problem which you are facing that also you can ask me in the comment section. I will be more than happy to help. So if this concept is clear, do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you.